What's happening, everybody? My name is Julius, and I am here because I want to talk about something very specific. We've been having a lot of Batman content on our channel lately, mainly because there's a lot of Batman news, and I assure you there will be more Batman topic videos coming out just because Keaton's coming back, Affleck's coming back, will Bale come back, will this guy come back, will I come back? And I think the answer is yes for all of that. But for this specific question, which Angel and I will get into a bigger discussion about as videos come out, I want to focus on the possibility, the potential, if you will, for a sequel to The Joker from 2019. A question that I think is very prevalent, even to this day, is whether Joker should get a sequel. The whole idea of Joker is that it is the standout film that's anti-marketability, which is ironic because it made like near $1 billion. It seems as if it was designed to stand as an outlier, something that doesn't belong and shouldn't continue to belong. I think there is a very open debate about whether it should get a sequel at all. I would love to see a sequel, but I think that this movie is great enough to stand on its own. I think there's a strong case to be made that without a sequel, The Joker will stand the test of time, not only just for comic book films, but for recent cinema. But all that being said, I was interested in what a continuation of this world would be, how that would react to the public, what it could be about, what it could focus on. I thought of something, I wrote it down, and I wanted to share my idea for what a Joker sequel could be like to all of you, the fans, the listeners. If you're familiar with the pitches that I do on the podcast, they're narrative driven, so there's a story. This isn't going to be like a 2.5 hour podcast, it's only going to be a couple minutes. It would be called The People versus Joker. So sit back, pop a pill, and enjoy.
And always remember, that's...
It started with a show, followed by a shot, and eventually, laughter. Arthur Fleck's monologue, a vicious and honest call for anarchy in Gotham City, has brought the community to its knees. Fleck himself has transformed from the victimized comedian to the restless clown prince of crime, the Joker. For the past 5 years, the Joker has unleashed his chaotic sense of humor to the streets and underbelly of Gotham. Unreachable by the authorities, for his clown subjects hide him away after every moment of havoc. Broken buildings, families, and people. The world has never burned brighter. Throughout this journey, he's never felt more alive, but he does in fact feel empty. Something is missing from his life. But what could it be? On his last escapade for death, Fleck procured a bundle of toxicities from the now shut down Ace chemical plant. With them, him and his cohorts would contaminate Gotham's water supply. Maybe after a drink or two, everyone else in this godforsaken city would finally get the joke. Unfortunately for him, Joker didn't account for a police informant in his crew, a young lieutenant by the name of Gordon. Arthur is taken in and sentenced to be examined by Arkham State Hospital. The asylum itself is a drab and mundane reminder of the meek and powerless man that he used to be. So, he escapes, and escapes, and escapes. After months of this routine and bloody cycle, Gotham City has had enough. Specifically, District Attorney Harvey Dent, played by James Spader, a lawyer known for defending powerful members of the city's biggest crime families. But now, this case is different. With the Falcone families, the Maronis, the Sionuses, there was order. But with Fleck, there's only chaos. Gotham can't have that. Dent appoints himself, the lawyer, to send the Joker to the chair. Before his trial, Fleck is captured once again, sent into Arkham for an updated psychological exam. But this time, the doctor isn't his usual victim. A new employee by the name of Dr. Harleen Quinzel, played by Rooney Mara. Someone who approaches Arthur in a different way, telling him a couple of jokes, being charming, wanting to get on his good side. Fleck is surprised by the warmth from her, and even thinks some of the jokes are funny. As odd as it is, he doesn't want to escape again. As weeks pass, the trial nears. Arthur gets to know Harleen better, and Quinzel is unadmittedly entranced by him. Fleck asks why she's so interested in helping him, and it's because she was forced into this situation by her boyfriend, Gotham News reporter Jack Ryder, played by John Bernthal. With her access to the Joker, he'd have an exclusive story for his station. Quinzel is admittedly scared of Jack since he gets pretty physical for his own means. However, with Arthur, she feels calm, safe. Arthur himself hasn't felt safe in a long time, but he always loved nostalgia. The trial begins, and the people are witness. Arthur is in a straitjacket, televised once again. In his opening statements, Dent addresses the arguments in favor of Fleck's actions. Yes, he was mistreated by society. Yes, what Murray Franklin did to him was wrong. But if those two reasons are enough to justify an anarchical revolution, why is there an argument? Or a courtroom? They exist because what the Joker had done is clearly wrong, and no amount of doctor's notes can excuse it. Gotham as a community is split. Half of them want Arthur to hang, for they've lost loved ones, their businesses, and more like Arthur have been slowly sprung up. Another TV personality, Basil Carlo, threw a fellow actress into a vat of cement, citing the actions of Fleck. A 2-bit gangster kidnaps young children, takes them to the Gotham Historic Zoo, and throws them into a crocodile pit. This will only escalate, these citizens argue. However, the other side of the community doesn't want to see Fleck hang. They want to believe in a system that takes responsibility for creating a feeling of isolation that drives people to commit such horrific actions. With his death, Arthur will only be a scapegoat, and it could very well perpetuate the further chaos that the city wants to avoid. As the trial continues, so does Arthur's hidden relationship with Harleen. The two inspire each other to be more confident in their worlds. The doctor doesn't feel as pushed around by her boyfriend, and the clown gets used to the hospital, its other patients, even doing stand-up for the fellow disturbed. However, once Harleen comes back to work with bruises on her face, Arthur is enraged, wanting to escape and kill this writer guy. Harleen begs him not to, saying that it's her fault. She hasn't given Jack anything about Arthur because her relationship with him is too important. She doesn't want to help others paint the Joker as the man she doesn't see. Fleck tells her that she has to leave Ryder. That way, they can focus on each other without having to worry about the concerns of others. Harleen agrees, and as she leaves to do so, Arthur is back in his room, laughing. The empty feeling inside is long gone. At their apartment, Harleen finds a gift at her doorstep, a little box with a card that reads, "From Mr. J." She walks in to find Jack, barking at her, wondering if she finally came to her senses. And she has. This only angers Jack more, who starts to pummel her. She tries to run, but doesn't have the speed. She tries to fight back, but doesn't have the strength. On the floor, taking the hits, she looks back to the gift. Mr. J. Unwrapping it, she finds a small hammer. With the tool, she brains Jack, fast and hard. There's more blood than she'd ever seen before. The woman hugs the little hammer and starts to chuckle. Soon after, the trial continues, where more and more witnesses are brought in to detail their experiences with the Joker's chaos. A horror story, an upset jury, a smirking Arthur. Finally, it's his turn to take the stand. Fleck is asked by Harvey why he feels Murray Franklin's actions warranted a death sentence, but not his own. Arthur looks at the jury, the judge, the cameras, the public, and Dent. "It's simple," says the defendant. "Franklin had a show on for over a decade. Hundreds of stale jokes, punchlines, audience signs, and what happened? He got shot. I actually changed things in this town. You're all looking at crime and mental health, everything I had to deal with, in a way you never did before. All because of the one joke I told in a single night. Imagine the material I'll come up with tomorrow." His time is up and is sent back to the defendant's corner. Dent calls on the last witness of the day, a teenager, silent with his head down. He walks through the court, escorted by an older man in formal wear. Different people in the court murmur as they see the boy. On the stand now is Bruce Wayne. Dent introduces him as a victim, lucky enough to have met Fleck and survived the encounter, but cursed to witness the brutal deaths of his parents by a man dressed as a clown. Arthur's eyes light up when he sees the kid, thinking to himself, "Look at how much you've grown." Dent asks Bruce a volley of questions regarding his parents' death, his encounter with Arthur, whether he thinks Fleck is his brother or not. To all the questions, Bruce says nothing. He's silent, just as he was that one horrible night. As Dent asks Bruce to step off the stand, the Wayne manages to say one word. "Fleck," he growls. I am vengeance. The child goes back into his pocket, grasping the grip of a small handgun, ready to fire at the man responsible for his parents' death. Until he's interrupted. The doors of the court are burst open, and in walks Arthur's former doctor, his current lover, and his new and improved Harley Quinn. Drenched in white wall paint, with a red and black corset, a smile printed with lipstick, and enough mascara to darken the soles of her eyes. To her side, a shotgun, aimed right at the district attorney. Harvey Dent is shot across the left side of his face and falls to the echoing laughter of the Joker and Harley Quinn. Together, while accompanied by a squad of clownish thugs, they shoot up the court, hitting jurors, bailiffs, witnesses, the judge. Bruce is taken by his butler, Alfred, to cover. Arthur notices that Harley got his present, and Quinn tells him that she loved it and that Jack's head looked like pudding. The two laugh, kiss, and escape in a police squad car. With Quinn driving, Arthur uses the car mirror to redo his makeup. She asks where they should go, and he tells her that it's time for a honeymoon. Into the sunset, the clowns speed off, laughing, holding hands, and causing a few hit and runs while they're at it. Left behind is Bruce, who looks to the gun he brought. He's ashamed, having witnessed the destruction such a weapon could bring. He breaks it and runs away. His butler yells after him, but it's too late. Wayne has disappeared, off to his destiny. A few days later, Dent wakes up in a hospital. He can only see out of one eye, for the other side of his face is wrapped up in gauze. On a table near, flowers, along with a letter. He opens it to read a crudely drawn document. To Harvey. Hope the scars heal up. If law doesn't work out, there's always the circus. Out of the envelope drops a coin. P.S. I always knew the law was two-sided. Love, Mr. and Mrs. J. The lawyer can only laugh. So there it is, the idea for the Joker sequel. What did you think about it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What would you want to see? Would you want to see anything? Let us know. I am Julius, and I am excited to bring more and more stories to you. Thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe, and peace out.